Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and my kitchen. Today we are going to do some brownies, keto brownies, but not grainy brownies or fibrous brownies or weird brownies that somehow taste like chocolate wheat bread. Ugh, no, fudgy, yummy brownies. Want to know how I make them? Stay tuned and let's do this. Okay, so as you know, I have been baking with lupin flour and I have been replacing some of what's called for an almond flour with lupin flour, and I've also been baking a lot with oat fiber, and kind of the combination of those three things in this brownie mixture makes them fudgy and moist and delicious and not grainy or weird tasting at all. I mean, they're just, you can't tell the difference. They're so good, and there's very few things you can say that about. You know, a lot of times you're like, well, it's a close second, but it's not the same. But this one is pretty darn close. So I am going to show you what ingredients I use. You can alter these however you want as far as mix-ins, from nuts to chocolate chips to whatever. I'll show you what I put in mine. So let's turn around and make these things. Okay, so the first thing we're going to use is oat fiber. It's 1/3 cup. I will have all of the measurements in the description box below. Next up is the almond flour. This is 3/4 cup. And the magic ingredient, lupin flour, also 1/3 cup of that. Next up is cocoa powder. Now I put in 3/4 cup, but it was really dark chocolate. So if you want to go 1/2 cup, you can do that. Then there's some baking soda and salt. Mix that all together until it is fully incorporated. Next up is butter. You want a 1.5 sticks. That looks like a 1.25 sticks, but it's a 1.5 sticks. And then I use the powdered monk fruit. That's so that nothing recrystallizes, and I put 1 cup in of that, and you don't have any of that grainy texture from artificial sugar. You're gonna take a hand mixer and just mix that all together. This butter has been softened, but you can also melt it. I don't think it makes a difference, and it's actually a little easier to incorporate if you melt it, but you can also just use it softened. Once you get it totally mixed in, you're going to be adding a teaspoon of vanilla. And 2 eggs. Mix that in with your mixer. It's not gonna fully mix together. It's still gonna look like it doesn't fully incorporate. That's okay, don't worry about that. It actually looks a little gross, but it's totally fine. Just mix it in as much as you can, and you're good to go. Then you're going to incorporate your dry ingredients in with your wet ingredients, and just mix that together until it is combined. Keep in mind it's not going to look like a regular brownie mix that's pourable. It's definitely stiffer than that, but that's okay. Now for my mix-in, I'm using a Lily's sugar-free salted caramel chocolate bar. You can use chocolate chips, you can use whatever you want to mix in with that. Peanut butter powder in place of some of the cocoa powder would be great to make it less dark chocolate-like. Then you're going to just press it into the pan. I used a spatula and my fingers to get it even. You're going to throw it in the oven at 350 for 12 to 15 minutes. It is done, and we have to let it cool completely before we cut it. Okay, so you put it in for 12 to 15 minutes. Do not overbake it. It's not going to seem done when you take it out, but then you're going to leave it on a rack in the pan for 15 to 20 minutes. Just wait. And then pro tip, when you cut brownies, any kind of brownies, you need to use a plastic knife, because then it slides right through the dough or the brownies without tearing them and ripping them apart. All brownies do that. These things are delicious
and satisfying. I love them. I hope that you will try them out. And you know, I know you're skeptical on whether or not these things taste good because so many keto recipes have failed us, but these things are great. And you can use Swerve in place of the monk fruit if you want. You can use stevia drops, which kind of counteract some of that kind of artificially taste and stuff. You know, whatever sugar substitute that you like, you can put into this however much that you prefer for sweetness. So I'm not married to the monk fruit, not married to the monk. Monks can't get married. But I do like it for mine because of the stomach upset that I don't get when I cook with this stuff. So anyway, I hope that you'll try this. Otherwise, I hope you're having a great day. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.